It's a strange feeling, flying nearly 1,800 miles to go play tabletop miniature games with strangers. To the horror of parents everywhere, I would recommend it. The experience of attending Mordheim 2022 has changed me. Surrounded by such passion for a unified moment was truly beautiful. Instant friendships that I know will transcend beyond the event. I think anyone who would go through such lengths to play games is the type of person I would try to befriend, regardless of my environment. I know everyone is hoping for a play-by-play of the event, and truth be told, I was having too much fun to chronicle what was happening around me. So rather, I'll account my experience of the event to the best of my ability. When I landed in Texas, I didn't know what to expect, but I took an Uber straight to the bar. Not because I needed a drink, but rather to meet up with 3 of my would-be roommates for the week. There I was greeted by Mark, Tom, and Jimmy. These guys are legendary in our hobby. Bringing drool-worthy miniatures and glowing personality to the event, I immediately knew I had made the right choice in attending. Quickly over the next few days, we began to acclimate to our environment. On day 2, our gracious host Bill joined us in the festivities, as well as Eric of Eric's Hobby Workshop. I don't think I can adequately describe the pure insanity of fun that ensued from this point forward, but nonetheless, I'll try. We get a text from Brad and Will. They are driving down to the event the same distance I just flew in a freaking plane. Will's reading the rules to Brad as he drives, just to recap. Again, the pure passion. Chris and Ryan send pictures of them still painting their miniatures, just hours out from gameplay kicking off. Greg, Adam, and Eric of Between the Bolter and Me are spamming out the Discord with pictures of their gorgeous miniatures, only adding to the hype everyone is feeling in this moment. John is bouncing in and out of the frame throughout the day, his personality lighting up the room each time he joins us. Friday morning rolls in. We're all eager to start playing. People are making last-minute adjustments to their warbands. We all draw cards from a tarot deck. This determines our first opponent as well as the tables that we'll be playing on. I draw Mark for my first match. My Sisters of Sigmar against his Reichlanders. Mark readily knocks all my heroes out of the match, and I find myself in a dilemma in Game 1. With an Ogre Bodyguard higher in my warband, and not enough gold crowns to pay his retainer costs, I now need to avoid my route test while pushing for the win. Luckily, the beastly Ogre hacks his way through most of Mark's ranks, and Mark instead does a voluntary route. This victory affords me just enough to pay my Ogre's retainer fee and continue on. Next, I verse Greg's Witch Hunters in the Sewers of the City. This table holds a special rule for tentacle monsters that will neutrally attack any character who finds itself too close to the murky waters. Playing the scenario Breakthrough, my strategy is simple. Rush to the other side of the board and avoid the tentacles. Well, my strategy panned out, but not because of my execution. I avoided the tentacles, but only because they were more preoccupied with annoying Greg. Another victory. It seems the neutral tentacles chose not to be so neutral, and much to my benefit. I play a 2v2 match on the Docks board with the Wire Brothers. Adam and I are using our sisters against the Undead and Witch Hunters of Eric and Greg. The match is a bloody, violent gridlock. My Ogre is fighting the good fight against Eric's Direwolves, while on the other side of the board, the sisters from both warbands are getting sniped by Witch Hunter crossbow bolts and slashed down by a formidable vampire. This time is defeat. Adam and I fail our first route, likely saving us from further losses in the match though. Next, I play against Tom's Cult of the Possessed on Chris's gorgeous modular board. My Augur is a terrifying sight in combat, but is unable to take the Cult on alone. Poor deployment cost me the match. Tom outwits and outrolls me, killing enough novices to force a rout before my beefy 20 XP Augur can hunt down all his stragglers on the board. Defeat again. Last match of the night. Eric and I go toe-to-toe on John's board. Nicknamed Block Fort after the map from Mario Kart 64, this amazing table provides narrow passes, plenty of modularity, and height for elevated ranged attacks. Eric acknowledged the great sniper vantage points and gets his Elf Ranger in good position. From here, he snipes down novices one at a time. First route test, I route. That puts me 2 wins in 5 matches. To put it bluntly, I got stomped. I care little, I'm having the time of my life. On the final day, the top 4 warbands send their heroes into the sewers of Mordheim. Will's undead attempt to get revenge on the Count. Brad's human mercenary stallions, the Lost Company, were sent on behalf of Empress Magritta. Jimmy's cult of the possessed, the Black Tendrils, want the Count for the perfect sacrifice. And Bill's Ostermark mercenaries, with their family homes threatened, are on an involuntary rescue mission to save the Count Steinhardt. I'll let Bill tell you about the final scenario in his own words.
So the Lost Count. As chaos and hedonism overtook the city in rebellious revelry, the palace was no different. Although estranged from the common man and woman, Count Steinhardt held a grand party to outrival Boris the Gold Gatherer in decadence and style. Though the comet wrought untold destruction upon many of the guests in attendance, the Count and his closest culprits of excess found themselves safe, though not for long. Locked away in the throne room, the burgomeisters and sycophants closest to the Count could only drink and revel as the echoes of the city dying a swift destruction fought for their attention against the echoes of the city's or citizens' screams of death. As the party dragged on, it was soon clear that they were the only ones left. Ordering his remaining guards to kill the burgomeisters, it was clear to all the city was finally and firmly back in Count Steinhardt's hands. So what the last 23 years have done to the Lost Count and his courtiers will soon be seen.
Rest in peace to the Count. When the dust settles, Will's monstrosity of a vampire, much to the horror of the other warbands, picked the Count up over his head and ripped the noble in 2. Jimmy claims the Count was a decoy, and the real Count is still missing. Everyone is beyond satisfied with this ending. A little mystery and plenty of gore makes for a great ending to a Mordheim campaign. I think as wargamers, we tend to take good gaming experiences for granted. It's what we demand of the games we play, it's what we expect. But good gaming experiences are so much more than just some laughs and solid dice rolls. Wargaming is something that genuinely makes us happy. The community, the art, all of it. And as such, doing something that makes us happy should never be simplified or undermined just because it revolves around playing a game. We should always seek out more of the things that makes us happy, and never negotiate the passion with anyone just because it's been dubbed as a hobby.